Lionel Messi is a fraud who stole money and almost went to prison for it. You think that's crazy? Just wait till you hear what Diego Maradona almost went to jail for. It will blow your mind. But I'll get back to Diego a little later. Let's start off with the GOAT, Mr. Lionel Messi. And don't click off just yet, CR7 fans. He's on here too. I think we can all agree Lionel Messi's time at Barcelona may never be topped. Definitely not at PSG, that's for sure. But anyways, he was on top of the world. He was killing it on the field and drowning in cash. But you see, money and fame can be intoxicating. You start feeling like you're a god. You start feeling the laws of mere mortals don't apply to you anymore. Well, the high life may have caught up with Lionel Messi, and when news broke of what he did, the world was shocked. The Spanish government accused Lionel Messi of defrauding the government of $4.7 million. Messi and his team were using shell corporations and offshore accounts in tax havens, so he wouldn't have to give his cut to the government. You know, typical rich people stuff. But Messi claimed that he knew nothing about it and said his accounts were handled by his father. Hey, way to throw your dad under the bus, bro. That's the weakest defense ever. But hey, Leo is a striker, so defense is obviously not his area of expertise. The judge heard Messi's excuse and basically said, tough shit, bro, but you're going to jail for 21 months. Don't drop the soap. See ya. Now, you must be thinking, Messi didn't actually ever go to jail, right? Well, in Spain, if a person is given a sentence of under 2 years for a non-violent crime, they don't have to serve the time.
What?
What a weird law, but that was a very close call for Leo. He got away with a small fine of just over $2.2 million. Cristiano Ronaldo saw Messi grabbing all the headlines and decided he wasn't going to let his rival win this one. Even when it comes to crime, these two can't stop competing with each other. Ronaldo was a beast at Real Madrid. He was a goal-scoring devil. And you know what the good book says about the devil? He came to steal, kill, and evade taxes. Just like Messi, Ronaldo was funneling his money through tax havens and shell corporations overseas. The Spanish government found out, pulled a Rihanna and said, "Bitch better have my money." They slapped him with a $21.6 million fine and a 23-month jail sentence. And he actually ended up paying the fine. But thankfully, he didn't get locked up. Ronaldo f***ed around and got caught. Unlike Neymar, whose charges mysteriously got dropped, in a case involving some very, very shady stories from his past. Neymar's move from Santos to Barcelona was historic. Everyone was excited to see a young sensation move from a small Brazilian club to one of, if not the biggest, club in the world. It's unfortunate for our boy Nene that he ended up in Messi's shadow. But anyways, this transfer was one for the books. But off the books, the story was very different. And when the Spanish prosecutors made the following information public, it shook the foundations of modern football. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic. Shady deals like this are not really anything new in football. Neymar and his parents made a side deal with Barcelona that put $60 million in their pockets as soon as the deal went through. No problem, right? Well, it turns out there were third-party investors involved in Neymar's transfer. If they knew about the extra $60 million, their cut would have been much bigger, so they considered what Neymar did as fraud. The Spanish prosecutors dragged Neymar to court, and guess what his excuse was? My father has always been in charge. I sign what he tells me to.
What?
Did Neymar make a quick phone call to Leo before the hearing, or are these superstars just a bunch of daddy's boys? But the weird part is the prosecutors ended up dropping the case against Neymar, even though the investors are still suing for their money. Crazy! But so far, none of what these guys did compares to what Maradona did. Just wait until the end to find out. I am telling you, you do not want to miss this. But let's move on to the next person on the list whose crime was just disgraceful. Robinho was once thought to be the next big thing in football. Everyone thought he was Ballon d'Or material. But what he did in one night in 2013 cost him everything. One night, Robinho and his close friend Ricardo Falco went out to the Sio Cafe nightclub in Milan to have some fun. They met a 22-year-old Albanian girl, and both Robinho and Falco, along with a group of other guys, allegedly wanted to have her for the night, but she said no. And what the guys did next was absolutely disgusting. They raped the girl, allegedly. Robinho and Falco were the most famous guys in the group, so they were identified quickly and arrested. An Italian court later sentenced both of them to 9 years in jail. But Robinho has still not served a single day. Why? Well, Robinho moved back to Brazil, where the Italian government has no jurisdiction. They requested that Brazil extradite Robinho to them, but they apparently still haven't responded. While Robinho is wanted outside of Brazil, his former teammate Ronaldinho went to jail for that very reason. Man, where do I even start with Ronaldinho? The first time the world saw Ronaldinho play, everyone knew this guy was going to be something special. Ronaldinho did things with a football that people thought wasn't even possible. He ruled the game for a couple of years, but as time went on, things started to take a dark turn. Ronaldinho was partying a lot, drinking way too much, and missing quite a few training sessions. But everything really came crashing down when he and his brother made one of the most stupidest decisions ever. Both of them were set to go on a promotional tour in Paraguay, but instead, they got detained in a maximum security prison. The problem is that Ronaldinho should not have been flying at all, because his passport was seized by the Brazilian government for some other legal issues. But if you've ever watched Ronaldinho on the field, you'll know this man never stops. So they came up with the brilliant plan of using fake Paraguayan passports. So they legit thought he wouldn't get recognized? Or that the customs officers would think, ah yeah, Ronaldinho, the legendary Paraguayan baller. Maybe all those years of skills mixed in with the alcohol blurred the lines of reality for him. Man, even his own attorney called him an idiot. So obviously he got arrested and spent 32 days in jail in Paraguay. And that's where Ronaldinho did some self-reflection. He thought deeply and realized that the single decision that would turn his life around would be to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Seriously guys, like and subscribe. It might not turn your life around, but it will make your day better. And if you're looking to support me and Jim so we can make even better videos, don't hesitate to join the channel as a goated member. It'll help us make even better videos for you guys. But enough chit chat, let's move on to the next man on the list who literally assaulted a police officer. If trouble were a chicken bone, Serge Aurier would be a dog because he'll always find it. Now, trouble on the pitch can be solved quite easily, but trouble with the law is very different. But Aurier didn't just break the law, he almost broke the law's throat. One time, Aurier was driving home from the club when a police officer stopped him for a breath test. According to the agent, an altercation occurred, and what Aurier did next could have sent him away for a long, long time. He hit a police officer in the throat with his elbow. Bro thought he was in the WWE.
Sweep to correct the KO problem. Cheap shot by Jay.
Police detained him immediately, and Aurier was hit with a 2-month prison sentence. But I think you already know he didn't spend a single minute in jail. Just like Cantona. Do you remember Eric Cantona? He was a flipping fantastic player. but he will always be remembered for his hot temper and recklessness. This man cared about nothing. If he was pissed, someone was going to get it, and get it hard. Not like that, but you know what I mean. His most famous incident was his classic kung fu kick in a fight against a guy now known as the Hooligan. See, Manchester United were playing a heated match against Crystal Palace, who were a much more aggressive team at the time. Cantona was on the receiving end of many hard tackles without any action from the referee. "No yellow cards then," said Cantona to the referee. At halftime, Alex Ferguson had some nicer words for him too. "Why don't you do your f***ing job?" When they came back for the second half, the referee obeyed orders and proceeded to give out his first red card to Cantona himself. As Cantona was walking away with his blood boiling in his veins, a man named Matthew Simmons thought it would be a great time to poke the bear. He ran down to the pitch so Cantona could see him clearly and shouted, "F*** off back to France, you French motherfucker." Simmons did not expect what was going to happen next. Cantona ran to the stands and sent a flying kick straight into Simmons' chest. Cantona was sentenced to 2 weeks in jail for the incident. But, of course, the sentence was later reduced to community service. Years later, Cantona doesn't regret his actions at all. My best moment? I have a lot of good moments, but the one I prefer is when I kicked the Hooligan. Cantona is loved today for that incident, but this other ex-Man United player is hated by pretty much all the fans for what he did. Mason Greenwood was the hottest young player in England. He was banging in goal after goal and was on track to become a new Manchester United legend. But what happened next, no one could have seen coming. His girlfriend made some very serious allegations against him. She shared pictures of her wounds and voice recordings of her and Greenwood, where he was allegedly assaulting her. He was charged with attempted rape, controlling and coercive behavior, and assault occasioning actual bodily harm. In a confusing turn of events, all of Greenwood's charges were later dropped. Starting to see a pattern here? And he has been spotted with his girlfriend Harriet Robson a couple of times since then. The same girl who accused him of those heinous crimes. Something is not adding up here, but hey, what do I know? What I do know is that Benjamin Mendy's life may never be the same again after the crimes he was accused of. Benjamin Mendy lived a very wild life. He was well aware of his privileges as a millionaire footballer and he used them to the fullest. He threw crazy parties in his mansion and had a lot of fun. According to Mendy, picking up women was honestly so easy. I wish I could say that about myself. It all looked nice from the outside, but behind the scenes, all hell broke loose when about 6 girls came forward with sexual assault allegations against Mr. Mendy. Mendy was immediately arrested and taken off the Man City squad. The case was very long and absolutely crazy, but in the end, Benjamin Mendy got to walk out a free man when the jury declared him not guilty of 6 counts of rape. Sadly, things may never, ever go back to normal for Mendy again. And now, let's talk about the legend, the myth himself. Remember that crazy thing I told you Maradona had done back in the day? Fasten your seatbelts, wear a helmet, and get a bulletproof vest for this one. No, you seriously might need it. Maradona battled a lot of demons in his life. He struggled with drugs and alcohol for most of it and had a very hot temper. This temper reached a breaking point one time when Maradona was swarmed by inquisitive reporters at his home in Buenos Aires. He had been suspended for a drug charge, and so the media wanted a word from the legend. But what they got instead literally almost killed them. Bullets! Actual gunshots from Diego Maradona. This dude was crazy as hell. He went inside, got his gun, and then started shooting at the reporters. He clearly wasn't scared of catching a murder charge. He injured 4 reporters that day and was given a suspended sentence of 2 years and 10 months, which means he also didn't do any jail time. But listen, there is way more stuff about Maradona that you don't know. I bet you didn't even know that Maradona once partied with Pablo Escobar. And no, I didn't make this up. Click the video on your screen right now to find out, and don't forget to subscribe.